What is up, guys? This is Linthio coming at you with an updated deck profile of my Satellarknights for the January 1st ban list with the new set coming out. As you can see there, the Satellarknight Constellar Diamond. Not Constellar Knight Diamond, which was a better name. But anyway, we'll go straight into it so you can see the updated list. So to start it off, we have the 3 Deneb. This is kind of standard. You need to run 3 of these because it's just your best searching card. Nothing really need to say about that. The 3 Altair, your main target for everything is basically Deneb, and you need to run it at 3 in my opinion because it's just, the card's just so good. 2 Vega, this card's great, but you don't want to see too much of him because, you know, hand advantage is important in this deck in my opinion. It's really good to include these 2 together because obviously you can make any, you know, any rank 4 you want, and any Trivet or Deltaros, but at the end of the day you can search them, you can recycle them, so that's why I've got these at 2 because they aren't as important. Then we have Tuanuk. Again, much like Vega, he's a nice turn 1 play if you don't see the Deneb, because you just want to push everything into the grave for the Caller Haunters and Oasis targets, so that's why I play that, and he's a decent V-stick as well. The 1 Regal, this is the brand new card that came out in the next set, which is the effect. This is a 1/9, which is quite important. He's the highest normal attack monster. If this card is summoned, you can target one Satellarknight monster on the field. It gains 500 attack, but is sent to the graveyard during the end phase. You can only activate it once per turn. So this is a instant out to Winder because you go up to 2/4 and you can just take that Winder out. It's really nice because obviously you can search him. If your opponent does put a Winder on board, you can maybe just go for the standard Altair Deneb and then search this out to just block your opponent. So it's a really great card. It's annoying that he does go in the end phase, but there's not really much you can do about that. It's just unfortunately a little bit of a drawback, but it's still a great card in my opinion. But it also does work to your advantage with the fact that if you've maybe got a empty Deltaros or Trivet, that you can just send it to the grave and get all the effects off. So that's why I only play it at 1. And the other one that I play is SECE, because he recycles for mid-late games all my Altairs back. Because more often than not, you're probably going to be searching Altair off the Deneb, and if it wears out, it wears out, and you can be stuck in the water a little bit, completely dead in the water if you don't have Satellarknights to actually go off with. Too honest. Crazy, absolutely crazy. The reason why I play Honest in this deck, and some people might say, well, it's pretty obvious because they're all lights. Well, yes, that's true, but Honest gives you a new way to play the deck, and what I mean by that is you want to keep your monsters on board for the alphas. And a lot of the times, your opponent will just summon a monster that's bigger than it, attack over it, and then activate all their cards if they're clever. With Honest, that means that you shut down your opponent's plan because they've already gone into their battle phase, attacked, and then they've hit into an Honest. So they now have to go into their main phase too, and if they decide to go off, I might still have that Deneb. Sorry, I still might have that Alpha to stop what they're doing, but it also means that they're not going to kill me this turn because, you know, they're in main phase 2. So Honest gives a real nice kind of vibe to the deck. It also means you can recycle it with Caller Haunteds or Oasis that you do play if you do bounce with Trivet or just anything like that, because the card's just really versatile. So 2 Honest in this deck has been working amazingly, just because it also is a nice out to Winder. Going into the spells, we have the 3 Rota. We don't really need to say much about this because it's Rota. They're all warriors apart from Honest. The 3 MST, we don't like back row. We don't want to get shut down by that Vanities. We don't want to get Quillforth to kind of do their thing. So the Vanities, the Tool, everything goes. The 1 Snatch Steal. Snatch Steal is back with a vengeance, and this card probably shouldn't be back because the amount of games it will win on its own is absolutely incredible. The card is just amazing. I still don't think it should be back, but not really much you can do. The only thing you have to do is play it, in my opinion. In every single deck this should be in. 1 Book of Moon. Book of Moon's an incredible card. not only does it stop you getting snatch steal, but it also means that you do keep that monster. So for example, if someone activates MST, you can chain Book of Moon to flip your monster down, and then it's your monster. So that's really, really nice. Don't forget about that. But just in general, Book of Moon is just a great card. Shuts off the window, anything like that. So I really rate Book of Moon. It's a great, great card. The one Raigeki is an incredible card. Even though Monster Destruction is not the greatest thing right now, it's still a good card just to clear the board. And then if, for example, you're going against Burning Abyss, you can assess the situation, Raigeki, and then see what they do, and then you can decide what you want to do. So while Monster Destruction might not be the best thing right now, it's still a good card in my opinion. The one Soul Charge, because you can go into Trigger, for example, bounce everything, and even though you don't attack, you can still kind of gain advantage on the field. And then finally, the one Skybridge. Skybridge is an interesting card. Skybridge makes bad hands better. If, for example, you draw this first turn and you draw a, let's say, Vega, it's terrible. So you summon the Vega and you'll just wait to see what your opponent does, because it's just a quite nice card to get you out of a bit of a sticky situation. It improves bad hands, and it means that you can get to that Deneb a lot faster. I'm only playing 1 because 1 space issues, and 2, I just like it at 1. I did have it at 2 previously, but there are other cards that I've wanted to put in since then, so that's why it's at 1. Going on to the traps, we have the 3 Satellarknight Alpha. Amazing card. I will say that this is without vanities, this build, because 1, I couldn't get my hands on them quick enough, because everyone's just valuing them at a stupid price. I'll get them eventually. And 2, a lot of people were also asking me for a build without vanities, so this is kind of 2 birds, 1 stone. So Alpha is here because it's just one of the most incredible cards in this deck. If the deck didn't have that card, I don't think it would be as good, to be honest, at all. 3 Call the Haunted. If you have vanities, you can probably cut this down to 2. And another card that you so wish. But Call the Haunted is really great because it just means you can get off a lot of plays. You can bring back your Honest as well if you so want. And just lots of recycling with Trigger. 3 Fiendish Chain. Again, Trigger synergy, and also because I really rate Fiendish Chain this format. I think it's an absolutely great card. A lot better than Breakthrough Skill because it blocks the attack, and it just has better synergy, as I said, with Trigger. So that's why I run it over Breakthrough Skill. But it's down to you, whichever personal preference you want. Dust Tornado. The reason why I'm running Dust Tornado is because back row is quite heavy this format, and Snatch Steel's running around. Quillforths are one of the biggest things, and Burning Abyss are as well. So you just don't want anything to kind of hit the back row. You want to be able to get rid of everything, and Dust Tornado is one of these cards that is a really, really clever card if you know how to play it, because you can keep back some of your traps depending on what your opponent does, and then set it once you activate this card. So a lot of people forget about that effect. It's actually saved me a couple of times being able to do that, because I've put this down with another card, kept something important in my hand, for example, and someone's blind MST'd one of the cards, and it just means that while it is a blind MST, while it is a risk for your opponent, and there's no guarantee that even if I set all the cards, they won't hit the one that I want, it's still just giving me a little bit of a, let's say, a fighting chance to be able to influence the duel with the cards that I have. So Dust Tornado is a really nice card for me, in my opinion, and it's just been working really well. Then we have 2 Oasis. In my previous video, I said that this doesn't go back to the hand, or it dies once the monster goes. I was incorrect in that. That was my fault, so apologies for anyone who I confused with that. I'm not entirely sure why I thought that, but we all derp in the video. So yeah, so 2 of this because it promotes not being killed, because it brings you back in defense mode, so it's a really nice card, and just in essence, really nice Call the Haunted. 1 Mirror Force, because Quillforths like to go off and like to attack everything with me. I know they go back to the extra deck, but it means that you can stop them for a turn and then try and kill them next turn. So Mirror Force is really nice. And then finally the 1 Solemn Warning, because Solemn Warning is just a nice card for me, in my opinion, and I do still rate it. So going on to the extra deck, we have the 1 brand new Satellarknight Constellar Diamonds. This card is incredible. I would like to point out that I side another copy of this for the Burning Abyss matchups and for the Shadow matchups, because having 2 in your extra deck and you're not going against anyone else that has running darks, it gives up a spot in your extra deck that you probably don't want to do. So that's why I run it at 1 for now, and 2 if I go into those matchups I'll side it in. Card's really good, card's stupidly good, and gives a real nice backbone for Satellarknights, in my opinion, in those matchups. Then we have 2 Trevor. This card's just great. I can never sing praises high enough. The amount of games it wins me, the amount of advantage it can generate me is just too good. So that's why we have 2 of them. 1 Deltaros, you only need 1 in my opinion now. It's not normally the go-to one anymore, like it used to be when they first came out. So that's why I've only got 1 in there, but it's still a great card. 2 Castel, I still think this is one of the best rank 4s in the game right now. Castel's just absolutely incredible. Just sending stuff back to the deck or extra deck or anything like that is just brutal. And the fact that you can send back row cards as well is really nice. So, you know, Castel's just, in all, just an absolutely incredibly decent card that everyone should run if you have access to. 1 Exeter Knight. These are the generic ones. The 1 Constellar Omega. Notice this is now ulti, thank God. Thank you to my friend Simon at home. The 1 Gandiva. The 1 Black Ship of Corn. The 1 Gagaga Cowboy. The 1 Abyss Dweller, still a good card. It's quite nice to summon this against Shadows. Even though they can beat over it, it does essentially stop them for a turn. The 1 Cargon, because the card's just good. The 1 Rhapsody and Berserk, not Bohemian Rhapsody, as I've most recently said. And then finally the Ragnar Zero, because it's a pretty good card in my opinion. The attack is quite nice, and it's just a decent thing to go into if your opponent's playing Burning Abyss or Quillforce or anything like that. So that is it, guys. I hope you did enjoy the deck profile. That is the updated version. There will be another updated version once I get the vanity, so people can see how the deck has changed a little bit. And there's going to be a lot more testing going in with this deck, because I feel this card really scares a lot of decks now, the dark decks, and gives the Satellarknights that stature that they do deserve. So that is it, guys. I hope you did enjoy deck profile. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the deck, and I shall, as always, catch you guys later.